In August of 2010, members of the Saginaw Underwater Explorers ventured to the Alger Underwater Preserve, which is on the south shore of Lake Superior in Michigan's Upper Peninsula. The area is also home to the Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore, which stretches for 42 miles with its soaring sandstone cliffs and miles of sand beaches. It is a popular tourist area with boat tours along the seashore. There is even a glass-bottom boat that offers tourists a chance to peek at some of the underwater wrecks. Alger County is also known for its numerous waterfalls and hiking trails. The Alger Underwater Preserve is located near the city of Munising and is one of Michigan's 11 underwater preserves, which include nearly 2,300 square miles of Great Lakes bottomland, an area nearly twice the size of the state of Delaware. Let's take a look at the dive we did on one of the wrecks, the Manhattan. Many of the wreck sites located in the preserve are protected from the fury of Lake Superior by Grand Island. Very seldom are dive trips canceled because of the weather. Divers of any skill level will find something to match their ability. The water is cold, however. A wetsuit is a must, with a dry suit recommended. On our trip, we found the surface temperature to be a balmy 68 degrees, which is quite warm for Lake Superior. Underwater visibility is considered very good. 30 feet at a depth of 100 feet is not uncommon. There are 7 major shipwrecks that have been located in the preserve, with mooring buoys and descent lines on all primary dive sites. We are now looking at the steamer Manhattan, which was headed from Duluth to Buffalo when she sheltered behind Grand Island because of gales in October 1903. When the weather moderated on the night of the 25th, the Manhattan headed for the open lake. Around midnight, her steering chain broke, causing her to strike a reef near the channel along Grand Island. After striking the reef, a fire broke out. The crew was rescued and the steamer burned to the water's edge. The Manhattan and her cargo of 76,000 bushels of wheat was a total loss. The 1,500-ton Manhattan was built in Detroit in 1887 and measured 252 feet by 38 feet by 19 feet. She had 2 decks and 3 masts. Iron straps crisscrossed her hull under her planking to provide additional strength. Innovative for her time, she had a steel boiler house, steam pumps and windlass, and electric lights. Much of the wreck was apparently salvaged in 1905. This included her engine, boilers, and the coal from her bunkers, but the burned out hulk itself was too difficult to move without great effort and expense. It is an easy dive, lying at a maximum depth of 40 feet. It is usually protected from the full savage of Lake Superior. Divers can see a large portion of the ship's massive timbers and the distinctive iron strappings in about 25 feet. Another wreck in the preserve is the Selvig. The Stephen M. Selvig is a steel tug of 70 gross tons, 71 feet in length, with a 19-foot beam. She was intentionally sunk off Trout Point near Grand Island in May of 1996 for the Alger Underwater Preserve. The tug was built in 1915 in Cleveland, Ohio, and was originally named the Lorraine. In 1953, she was renamed the Cabot and saw heavy use during the construction of the Mackinac Bridge in 1957. In 1988, the tug was purchased by the Selvig Marine and Towing Company of Sturgeon Bay, Wisconsin, and renamed the Stephen M. Selvig. The company donated the tug to the preserve in 1994. In March of 1995, members of the Saginaw Underwater Explorers helped prepare the Selvig for sinking by removing several generators and the cleaning of oil and grime that had accumulated in 80 years of service. Even though the tug lies in 70 feet of water, the pilot house starts at 40 feet, making a great dive for beginners to experts. Divers have access to all areas of the tug. The pilot house, galley, mess room, engine room, and crew quarters can all be penetrated. Diver Mike Fabish enters the pilot house to find the engine controls still move. No diving trip to Michigan's Upper Peninsula is complete without a visit to the Great Lakes Shipwreck Museum, which features a restored lighthouse and museum at the tip of Whitefish Point. It is also home to the Whitefish Point Underwater Preserve, another of the state's 11 underwater preserves. The museum has an exhibit showing artifacts and a scale model from every wreck in the preserve. There is also a display of the ship's bell from the last major shipwreck in the lakes, the Edmund Fitzgerald. The 729-foot steamer was lost in an infamous Lake Superior storm on November 10, 1975, near Whitefish Point, with her entire crew of 29 men.